The Panthers slipped to their fourth defeat from four from the start of this season's NatWest T20 Blast competition. Our first game at Merchant Taylor's School didn't work out too well as they lost by 47 runs to Hampshire. Dan Christian won the toss and elected to field first on a pitch which none of the players knew much about how it would play. James Vince can make any surface look good to bat on at the moment, and he took 4 fours off Stephen Finn's first over, the second of the match. He's already smashed 442 runs in boundaries alone in Championship cricket, and so Vince is a man in quite ludicrous form right now. He hit a speedy 50 in Hampshire's first win of the T20 Blast season on Friday night, and he simply continued the form he's been showing all season. He and Jimmy Adams were soon off and running. Indeed, 45 runs were struck off the first 4 overs, with Vince racing along, hitting the first 6 of the match. A delightful drive over the top of long on off Ollie Rayner. The pitch was quickly looking to be a good one to bat on. It was not the start that Christian would have been looking for, that was for sure. The bowling unit have performed admirably in this competition thus far, but on this occasion, the visitors moved on to 76 without loss. Finn's 2 overs costing 37 runs, that in the power play. Vince's second successive 50 in this competition arrived at the start of the 7th over with a rare single. From 25 balls at the crease, he'd struck 9 fours and 1 6, and it very quickly put the Panthers on the back foot. Adams was supporting his partner well too, and he picked up a ball from Christian, timing it superbly to carry it over the backward square leg boundary for his first 6. The 100 was up at the start of the 10th over with no wickets down. And that led to Vince to go on the charge even more. Ravi Patel was hit into the distance for another maximum. Middlesex desperately needed to see the back of Vince as soon as possible. Instead, they removed Adams for a 38 made off 26 balls. Adam Rossington with the leg side stumping off a wide ball from Patel. It ended a brilliant opening partnership on 108, which had set up the innings very nicely for the visitors. Patel then followed that up with the wicket of the danger man Vince in his next over. For once, the batsman didn't connect properly, and Harris took a comfortable catch at long off to get rid of Vince for 68 off 38 balls. He went with the total already on 119 for 2 in the 12th over. Patel, back at his old school ground, was the pick of the Panthers' attack. He slowed things right down with figures of 2 for 23 from his 4 overs, leaving it to Owe Shah to take on the returning Rayner. The former Middlesex man twice cleared the rope with typical wristy shots off successive deliveries to bring up the 150 in the 16th over. Shah was enjoying his return to his old county. Shah then pulled Finn over the rope as he looked to finish off the innings as strongly as it had begun. The Panthers knew that they were going to have to chase down a big score. Wheater then joined in by thumping Christian for a straight 6 as Hampshire closed in on 200, the highest score in this competition this year. They ended just 2 runs short of that, with Shah helping himself to an undefeated 49, which was made off just 26 deliveries. The Panthers then needed a bright start, and they got one with Paul Stirling finding the boundary on a couple of occasions early on. Crucial for Middlesex was that they kept wickets in hand at the top with such a big total to chase. Stirling and David Milan saw out the opening 6 overs, a decent enough start to their reply. Stirling struck the first 6, lifting this ball from Chris Wood over the deep square boundary. The feeling was that these two had to make the most of the quicker bowlers in the power play. He followed that up with another maximum in the next over, delivered by Kyle Abbott, as the home side made their best start to an innings in this season's competition. Milan produced the shot of the match in the last over of the power play, a glorious straight drive off Matt Coles which the batsman followed up with a 4 as the Panthers ended the power play on 57 without loss, a total they would have been happy with. But to the first ball of over number 7, Danny Briggs struck with his first delivery, taking an excellent return catch to remove Milan, who had to go for 23, which was made from 19 balls. Alas, Middlesex then lost Stirling as well. Trying to go over the top off Matt Coles, he got too much under the ball and skied a catch to Vince. The Irish opener had done his side proud though, making 40 off only 21 deliveries. It was now left to Joe Denley and Christian to restart the innings, but almost immediately the latter went for a tap and run and was well short of his ground when the stumps were broken from Adams' throw. That left the score on 69 for 3 in the 9th over. At the halfway stage, the score read 80 for 3, 119 more wanted from the last 10 overs, which was quite an ask, even more so when Neil Dexter had a swing and a miss to be bowled by Briggs for 5 with a score on 82. Rossington then tried a reverse sweep off Will Smith to also hear the death rattle. 5 wickets had fallen for 30 runs in just more than 5 overs, and the Panthers were now left with just too much to do on 87 for 5. Denley tried his hardest, bringing up the 100 at the end of the 13th over, but that cluster of wickets had cost Middlesex dearly. John Simpson then fell as he tried to remove the shackles put on by Briggs, who ended with figures of 3 for 20. Adams took the catch in the deep. Denley now had to go after everything, with 87 needed off the final 5 overs. He planted this ball from Smith over the mid-wicket boundary, but he too was out to the next ball, Shah clinging on this time at deep extra, as the Panthers now slumped to 119 for 7, a 4th defeat in succession now a certainty. This one though against a very strong looking Hampshire team. It was the spinners in the end who did the damage, Smith taking 2 for 24 from his 4 overs. The game ended in a whimper really, the result guaranteed for some time. Rayner was LBW to Abbott at the end of the penultimate over, before Harris fell next ball at the start of the last one, top edging a drag off Wood which landed safely in the gloves of Wheater. And that was that. The Panthers had to settle for a final total of 151 for 9, and that meant a loss by 47 runs on this occasion. Middlesex perhaps can't afford to lose again in this competition, and they certainly need to put a winning run together when they next take on local rival Surrey at the Kia Oval on Friday evening. Winning that would certainly boost the mood.